Well, two men have really influenced me in how I serve as a pastor, and one would be my father, who was a consummate pastor, was a small church pastor, had a heart for people, and just a real love of people and a love of the Lord. So he would be my primary influence. Growing up in a pastor's home, unlike many stories I hear, mine was a great experience. I never resented his ministry nor felt compelled, and yet he taught me. So when I was 8 years old, we worked through Strong's theology for like 2 years, just teaching me theology. When I was 12, we worked through Burkhoff. And he didn't make me do that. It wasn't like my dad sitting me down in a chair and you're going to learn this. I loved it. I loved time with him. I loved studying with him. So those theologies influenced me greatly through my dad. Then Adrian Rogers became a mentor of mine. When I went to Mid-America Seminary in Memphis, I met Adrian Rogers and asked him for a job my first week there. He said no, but Dr. Rogers had a way of, even when he said no to you, he made you feel like the most important person and the most accomplished person in the world. And he was, wow, Hershael, if I got anybody to do that for me, you would be the man. And, by the time I walked out of there, I felt so good about myself. I was just as unemployed as when I walked in. But that started a friendship. He saw something in me, and he became a mentor to me, gave me hours of his time. I could ask him questions. Even when I came back to Kentucky as a pastor, he made himself available. I can't tell you what Adrian Rogers meant to me. There's hardly a day that goes by that I don't think of something that I heard him say or that he personally told me or that I saw him do. His influence on my life is pervasive. Adrian Rogers was one of those few individuals that you see from afar and you think, wow, that guy is an incredible man of God. And then when you get to know him, you see him even larger. He was a magnificent, godly man. And his stature in both the convention and in my life seems to grow every day. I think we miss him terribly. So he shaped me in a great way. The theology that grabbed me the most was George Eldon Ladd's New Testament theology. It really shaped me when I was young. I read a lot of Ladd. It was Ladd that shaped my eschatology largely. It was Ladd that helped me understand biblical theology. So George Eldon Ladd remains an early and major influence. I've learned a lot from others since then, but Ladd was the first one that was really an eye-opening experience for me. I had read a lot of systematic theology, but when in my 20s I got a hold of George Eldon Ladd, it was like a light bulb went off or went on, and I still owe a great deal to Ladd's theology.